Hello everybody and welcome to Silkeborg Orienteering Club video tutorials. My name is Jens Børsting and tonight I'm going to show you how to georeference a map. I have found this very nice map that I would like to georeference. It is a JPG file, but it could also have been a TIF file or another raster type file. I do not have a lot of experience with many different file types, but I know that JPG and TIF files work quite well in the QGIS software that we're going to use to georeference this map. But first of all, we're going to download the software that we're going to use, and for this tutorial and for this method, we're going to use the QGIS software. This is a free and open source software that you can download on the QGIS.org website. I'm going to put the reference to this in the end of this video. But you open up the website and you navigate to the download page, and then you search for the application that suits your operating system on your computer, and I can recommend to use the 3.12 version. It is the latest as of today, which is June of 2020. There is another one coming out shortly, but I have good experience with this 3.12 version. You'll see when you click on download, it'll tell you that this is free and open software, but if you like it and you use it, I will encourage you to donate to these wonderful people that are developing this software. I have donated for them so they can continue to do their wonderful work. So once you have downloaded and installed the QGIS software on your computer, you open it and it comes up on your screen and looks like this. It is a quite comprehensive piece of software. It can do many things for you in the GIS space. We are only going to use a very limited element of this software for this activity. But the first thing you're going to do is to check that you have the right plugin engaged for the work we're going to do today. So you do that by coming up here in the menu and click on plugins. You click on manage and install plugins, and you'll see there's a full range of plugins you can engage. The one we are going to be interested in today is the georeferencing plugin. So you navigate down to Georeference GDAL. So you click this and you click install plugin. It'll install the plugin, and once it's done you can click close. Now you come up and click on raster in the top menu, and then you click on Georeferencer. The Georeferencer comes up in a new window, and here you open up a raster, which is the map that you're going to georeference. Now I have prepared I should have prepared. I hope it's still here. Tutorial files. And here is the raster file that I mentioned earlier. And we're going to open it, and it comes up like this. All you have to do to navigate on the map is to scroll in and out with your wheel on your mouse. You cannot really move around on the map. You have to navigate your mouse to the place you want to zoom in on, and then this is how you navigate. So you can't move the map left and right by clicking. But the thing you're going to look for on this map is 3 different points on the map that you would that you can find a very accurate GPS position on. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. First of all, you want to make sure that the map is accurately drawn, especially around the points that you're going to use to georeference the map. Now, most maps today will have very accurate locations of buildings. It could also be roads or corners of fields, or it could be marker stones or other features that are fairly accurate to map for the mapper. Here in Denmark, uh, typically the buildings are the most important or the most accurate places. So we're going to look for 3 corners of buildings. There's a nice building here, there's a nice building over here, and we're going to find a building down here at the lower part of the map. Now you can actually see that the mapper of this map has actually located or pointed out 3 points with georeferences on already. So we could have used those, and that would be much quicker and easier because you just click here and then enter those coordinates. But I'm going to show you how to do it when you don't have that on the map already. So let's navigate to one of these points and say we're going to use this corner. So we're going to try to find the coordinates of this. And for this, we're going to use the UTIM WSG84 coordinate system. So you can either go out there yourself with a GPS in the hand and then mark this position and pick up the points. The other way that we can use is we can go on Google and we can zoom in on the forest. So this is the forest we're looking at, and now we're going to find the building and we're going to zoom in on the corner. Now there's a couple of techniques here how you can locate the corner and get the coordinates. First of all, you want to make sure that you do have the right coordinate systems on Google Earth. So you go up and click on Tools and Options, and in this menu here you can see it says Show Lat Long. You can either have decimal degrees or other versions of that, or you can have the UTM or the Universal Transverse Mercator, the coordinate system, and Google Earth works in WSG84 datum, so that all works. So make sure you have this marked and click OK, and then you come down here in the right bottom side and you'll see here's the coordinates that are actually read out from where we're going to place the marker. So you can place the marker over the corner and you can look at the right lower line, and then you can, with a pencil, note down that coordinate. The danger of doing that is that you make a mistake and you don't get the coordinate absolutely correct, and then you have an issue later. So what we're going to do today is use a slightly different method. We're going to click this Add Place Marker, and we're going to call it Place Marker A. We're going to take this place marker and we're going to move it up and locate it right at the corner. Now if you want to, you can zoom even further in to make sure it's right at the corner. Now you have to remember what you're going to use this for. If this is for a tracking system for orienteering, if you're within a few meters, you're going to be plenty accurate for this activity. Now you can see up here in the little dialog that comes up, here are the coordinates. So what I can recommend we do is we copy, and you just need the meters, you don't need everything after the decimal. So you copy this by Control C and you go to your notepad, and you can see I have already prepared 3 coordinates. And then you come back here and you take the other coordinates. Remember, when you work in UTM, then the X coordinate is east-west and the Y coordinate is north-south. So the first coordinate you have here is actually the eastern coordination, and the second here is the northern coordination. Okay, so we're good with that. We zoom out and we go to the next point. We're going to zoom in on this building here. And here you see a little issue because you don't quite see this building vertically. You see it with an angle. So it's very important when you pick a point here that you pick the point where the building actually touches the ground. So this corner here will be okay. It's very difficult to use this corner over here because it's hidden by the building. So please take careful note of that when you pull out the coordinates. So this one is going to be called B, and we're going to put it on this corner of this building here. Make sure it's accurate. Again, we're going to copy the eastern or the X coordinate and put it in on Notepad on the coordinate E. And we're going to take the Y coordinate and place it here. And we're going to click OK. And then we're going to find the last coordinate, which is in the southern part. It's very important that you find the best possible triangle in the outskirts of the map, so you don't have coordinates or reference points that are too close together. The more you can spread them out in corners or the edge of the map, the more accurate your georeferencing is going to be. So here's a other nice little building, and we're going to try to pick this point right here in this building here. So we're going to call this C, and we're going to place this marker right here at this corner here. Again, we're going to copy the coordinate, and we are going to, we're going to use this. And copy. So we now have 3 reference points we're going to use to georeference our map. So now we come back in our QGIS software and the Georeferencer. And again, we're going to zoom in on the 3 locations. And then you click where you have taken a georeference position. So you click, and it's going to come up and ask you for the X or the east coordinate and the Y and the north coordinate. So we go back to our notepad and we pick up our eastern coordinate. We copy that. We paste it here. We go back in and take the Y coordinate. And we paste it here. And we click OK. And you'll see a tiny little red dot that tells you where that point is now entered. And down below, you're going to see the coordinates are entered. Okay. So we now navigate to the other building we found, which is this building here. And again, we click on the corner of the building. And again, it's going to come up and ask for the coordinates. So here is the X coordinate. And here is the Y coordinate. And we click OK. There's a red dot, and it shows up down here. So now we navigate to the 3rd point. Again, it's very important you read the map correctly because you have a road around here that also shows up in black, and therefore it can be a little difficult to distinguish. But this is the corner of the building. And again, we copy and paste. And click OK. So now we have 3 points. You can actually enter more points if you like. It is very rarely used or necessary to use more than 3 points. If the map is fairly well drawn, that should be okay. But if you had a very old map or very large map that covers a bigger area, then it could be relevant to put in more points, and then it'll try to or georeference the map using more than 3 points. But when you have a small map like this, for orienteering purposes, 3 points should be plenty. So now we're ready to actually do the georeferencing. But in order for the software to do that correctly, we got to come up here in settings, in the georeferencer settings, and enter the correct transformation settings. It's going to ask you for a transformation type, and we're going to use the thin plate spline technology or technique. And we're going to enter a name, and it could be called modified, but I'll just call it Georef, so I can recognize that this is the map that is Georef. We're then going to select the right projection, and this is a little complicated, but you come down here in the menu and you look at the projection. Right now it says invalid projection because we haven't selected anything yet. Now you're going to try to navigate to the zone that you're in the UTM coordinate system. So depending on where you are in the world, you have to select the right zone. There's a couple of tools in there that can help you. So if you come up and click on this little globe here, there's a new window that pops up. And here you're going to type WGS space 84 space UTM. And that'll down select some of the different projections that are available in this program. There's an enormous amount of projections, but this is the one we're going to navigate through. So you navigate down through and you see you have the transverse Mercator. This is the projection we're going to use, universal transverse Mercator, and you're going to navigate down to the zone you're in. Now the map we have here today is in Denmark, and that happens to be 32 North. So here's the 32 North zone, and when you click that, you get a nice little map up here in the lower right corner of the window, and you can see there's a red highlight rectangle of that zone. So you got to make sure that that zone covers where you are in the world. If it's not the correct zone, then try to navigate somewhere else and find out what zone it is. So once you have the right zone for your location or for the map location, you click OK. Now you can select that you want to generate a PDF map or a PDF report. That should not be necessary for the exercise today. You can also choose to load the QGIS or load it into QGIS after you have georeferenced it, and that's just a quick check to see that it is correctly georeferenced and you haven't made any mistakes. But it's not really something that is a requirement. Then once everything is set up, you have the right file name, you have the right projection and the thin plate spline, then we're good to go, and you can click OK. So now we are ready to georeference the map, and you do that by coming up here in the Georeferencer and you click this little play button and it'll say start georeferencing, and you click and you'll see this little progression window coming up, and it actually goes pretty quick. There you go, and it's now fully georeferenced, and we can close this application. You can save the points if you're going to do this again on a different map, but it's very rare that I do the same georeferencing of the same map twice, so typically I just discard, and then we're done. The map is now georeferenced, and you can come back into your Windows Explorer and see that it is now georeferenced. It is a TIF file, and this you can import into various applications like Condes for further work. You can also import it into Avenza map if you want to use it on your tablet or your phone when you're in the forest. This is beyond the scope of this tutorial, but I'll bring up other tutorials that shows you how to use these georeferenced maps in Condes and in Avenza map, so you can see how it works for you in real life. This is as far as I wanted to show you today. Thank you very much for listening in. Here's the reference to the QGIS website, and of course Google Earth. I hope you know how to navigate to that. But thank you very much for listening in, and please come back and see some more of our tutorials as we get them loaded up. Thank you very much.